What's up, guys? Mcdoubles back here with a brand new video. Today we're going to check out the Cryotherapist on Project Ascension. I want to get it done as my very last of the brand new legendary enchants that released with Chapter 2. It looks like it's a lot of fun. It's a frost healer, right? You want to frostbolt and heal people at the same time. We'll check it out, see if we can make it work. Hope you guys enjoy. Let's jump right in. Okay, guys, here we are. Cryotherapist, the very last of the legendary enchants that we're going to knock out real quick that came out with Chapter 2, and it's a frost healer, so that's what we're going to be trying throughout this video today. First of all, where did I get the Cryotherapist enchant? Well, I needed to go all the way to the southern part of Stranglethorn Vale, where all of the Naga are found. You have to go all the way up to, like, the little water altar, and you see some holy water. You click on that, and it begins your journey. Now, upon acquiring the holy water, you find out very quickly that you need frost giant tears, which can be found in Winter Spring, killing the frost giant. It takes maybe 30 to 45 minutes if you're not, horribly unlucky. And then the rest of it you can get off the auction house or farm it if you want. I got it off the auction house, maybe 400 gold or something like that, maybe 3. You need 15 living essence, 15 essence of frost. You combine it with the frost giant tears that you farm out, and boom, instantaneously, you have the Cryotherapist enchant. So I guess the real question becomes, is it even worth it? So we're going to take a look at it real quick to start. First of all, you require the primary stat of Spirit, and you need the Penance ability as well, so we will be skill carding that. So it says Cryotherapist transforms Penance into Icy Penance and teaches you Frozen Light. Icy Penance basically is a Holyfrost version of Penance, but it only does damage as a normal part of its spell. Then we have Cryotherapy that says Frostbolt heals up to 5 nearby allies for 5% of the damage it does. Frozen Light is next, increases the effectiveness of your Cryotherapy by 150% and heals them when you deal damage with Icy Penance. So that's how you're going to get some heals off the Icy Penance. But there's also some pre-synergy in here. Flash healing, greater heal, so you get lesser frozen light when you use one of those, and it increases the amount of healing from cryotherapy, so from Frostbolt, for 16 seconds. You can extend the duration of this by 6 seconds with prayer of healing. So it's all about priest and frost mage, guys. Lastly, we also have Spirit Frost, which you get when you use Frostbolt or Ice Lance. It stacks up to 5. Icy Penance consumes 1 stack to heal people. Flash heal, greater heal, and prayer of healing consume 2 stacks to reduce their cast time up to instant cast. Then lastly, Fingers of Light says every time I use a direct holy healing spell, I increase the chance to proc Fingers of Frost by 10% up to 50%, which means Frostbolt and Ice Lance are going to crit for more. So at first glance, I'll tell you guys straight up what I came up with this. I thought to myself, I want to spam Frostbolt to do as much raid healing as possible, use the prayer of healing to maintain the lesser frozen light effect, right, that we talked about, and therefore they're going to take even more healing from my cryotherapy and all that jazz. So anyway, it's going to be Frostbolt spamming and the occasional priest heal. In order to make that happen, guys, I went for the following start. Frostbolt, Mage Armor for more mana. We have Frozen Light right here, which we just talked about with greater heal. And then we also have Life Tap in case we need that as well. So we are level 1 right now. I'm going to get the 60 as soon as we can. We're going to get all these abilities going for the following skill cards. Arcane Power and Icy Veins. Penance for the guaranteed Icy Penance. And Focus Magic for more Frost crit. In the lucky card side, Prayer of Healing, Flash Heal, Cleansing Totem. Healing Stream Totem for a big maybe. Purify, because I do not want to have no magic effect removal like I did with my last build. And maybe the Cone of Cold as well. Faster Frost bolts and stuff like that. Something to think about. So let's go for it. So I got the 60, and I gotta say, it's not too interesting when you can't actually play much of the spec while leveling. So what I can tell you guys is what my current build is, which is basically perfect, except instead of the efflorescence, which is like the nature version of what I'm about to say, I'd rather have the halo. Halo is what you want when you play a holy healer, as far as I can see. This is still fine though. It increases my healing in general by 18% on all targets that are affected by it, which is solid. 6 seconds, but still, it does count for something. I got every normal spell I need. I even got thematic stuff, guys. Frostbrand weapon. It's complete garbage. I'd rather have the Flame Tongue, I think. Just a little bit more SP. But this is Frost, and it's Frost SP as well, so I'll take it. So it's what you would expect in this regard. And for the enchants, right, I'm going for the following as a start. We have 9% of our intellect as spell damage. We then also have 9% of our spirit as spell damage. I'm reducing the cooldown currently on Icy Penance, but I don't know. I kind of want to, change that. This is kind of placeholder for now. We got some haste. We got, let's see, centered, okay? First of the epic enchants. This is what's going to allow me to be hit capped the entire time. My direct healing spells that are holy based have a chance to increase my hit chance by 3%. Very, very good. Going for the nimble mind, just like my last healer, right? So this is more haste, reducing the mana cost of everything and increasing the damage that I take, but the damage increase rarely matters, so it's just a big boon. And we also have Stay Frosty, because the whole point of this spec, as far as I can see so far, is going to be Fingers of Frost procs, boys. Just getting Fingers of Frost off because we want to crit. Crit is king with this. So Stay Frosty gives me an extra 2% chance, and it keeps stacking right to get Fingers of Frost up until I finally make it happen, right? It also gives me a little bit of extra frost damage as well. So all of this is basically what you should expect. There are some Cryotherapist specs on the Hero Architect, but even the main guy right now says that he's like basically making it up. It's just a hypothesis. It's just a theory. There are no featured builds for this, and I can kind of see why. Like, for example, on Bobo's, he put literally everything you could possibly want for this spec just about in here, right? As a possible, like, I don't know, maybe you should take that. So it doesn't really tell you what to play. It tells you in general how to play. Super useful in that regard, though, I will say. From reading these guides, the only thing I don't have is Beacon of Light, so there's that, but I don't think it's really been that big of a deal so far. As for the spec we're going to be going in with, though, it's everything we could possibly get that converts Spirit into some kind of boon. So in this regard, we have Crit, and we have the AP converting version as well with Student of the Mind. I took Alacrity for the haste. It's always good on a caster spec. I've taken everything I could get for crit. 9% crit from the Elemental Shaman tree. We have a little bit of a chance to, when we crit, to reduce the mana cost of Frostbolt by 30%. That's pretty good as well. Over here in the Resto tree, 15% more Spirit. Everything you can for that Spirit stack, right? Pyromaniac, 3% crit and more mana regen. Everything that increases frost damage that's actually good, right? More Frostbolt damage, 9% more frost damage, more crit and more Frostbolt damage, more crit. We have Fingers of Frost. That's the piece that is Resistance. We have a chance to basically allow us to get this right here, 50% more crit with our Frostbolts, and that's going to be the thing. So right now, I've currently got 34% crit or 37% with my Frostbolt. That's what matters the most. But when I get a Fingers of Frost proc, we're looking at 87%, nearly 100%. Every crit, if you remember correctly from reading this out, is going to give me a stack of Spirit Frost. Spirit Frost, from what I can see so far, is the literal point of the spec. It's the main thing. If you don't know how to play it right off the bat at all, the one thing I recommend you do is hyper focus on your Spirit Frost stacks, because mastering that masters this spec. So with all of that being said, guys, I went ahead and I jumped into my very first Mythic Zero, and as it tends to be recently, for whatever reason, Mythic Zero is literally nothing right now. It's actually the easiest thing in the world. What kind of surprises me about that is that when I look back at the original, bits of Season 8, I see a land in which M0 could actually feel kind of tough. Not tough, but kind of tough sometimes. Now, I never see it, despite me still being on lower item level characters. Now, admittedly, at this point, we're on 70.5 item level. You'll see the upgrades that led to that, but still, I'd have to say it's way, way easier than ever. So really, an M0 means nothing, and really playing this on this build proved it. So, as I did with my last video, we decided to jump into a raid next, just a random heroic BWL. The plan here was to decide, number one, is this build actually good in raid settings, or is it an M+ build? Because yes, some do not transfer nicely. We can't always have Steward of Eternity, right? That's just good for everything. So, when I was in this raid, I realized very, very quickly that this is not a raid spec. It was really embarrassing, to be honest with you. This happens sometimes, and it always feels dreadful. Throughout the entire raid, you just don't have any leeway. There's no power. Everything you can do, another normal healer that's not trying to do DPS can do better. And so what that means is that because you're constantly using those Frostbolts as your main way of healing, you're overhealing a lot. When you're overhealing a lot, that means you are at the mercy of the game mechanics, and also at the speed of your allies, and also with RNG of the cryotherapy as to whether or not you start going up on the meters or down. The only way to fix this is to reduce the amount of healers and have faith that you alone can heal everybody, which is probably not realistic the more people you get in your raid, and this was a fairly big raid, 21 man, right? So, with that being said, as I was going through these bosses, I was consistently last place for healing among 3 healers, the 2 healers above me being traditional in that regard, normal healers, of course. So, as I was spamming Frostbolt and doing my rotation, keeping up that special frozen light on the tank, I realized everything I just told you guys very quickly, that maybe you could play a version of this for raids, maybe, just maybe, that's possible. But unless everybody's going to be stacking tremendously, and unless everybody kind of plays around the way that you heal, this is not going to happen for you. So I then said, let's go back into dungeons, right? But let's push ourselves. I see a plus 20 in the chat. I decided to go for it despite having 0 confidence with the spec, and I gotta say, I was very, very pleasantly surprised with the results. So my friends, after this M20 that we easily did, I'll tell you right now, we 2-chested it. Could have been a 3-chest, but of course, mistakes are a lot more likely to push you away from a 3-chest when you're doing a plus 20. I've just noticed that, if we make any mistake, you're instantly relegated away from the 3-chest, and you just grab a 2-chest for free. So at the end of the day, though, what I can say is that just spamming Frostbolt and going for those easy instant greater heals was enough to consistently keep my tank up. I was able to keep everybody up just nicely and do DPS. Now you might be wondering, Mcdoubles, how much DPS do you do? Is it really worth it? And from what I could see, it's about 1k plus DPS, so it's pretty good. As I said though, going into this M+, doing the Frozen Light up on my tank like that, I went for the Focus Magic. Now this is very nice. Focus Magic is 1% crit for me and 3% more later on if my ally crits. What's cool about this is that because talent abilities no longer actually take a talent point, which is very weird, right? But because that is the case, something like Focus Magic is not garbage to me anymore. You know, before it was like, yeah, if you really need it, you could take it. If you can afford the talent point, you can take it. Now it's like, just take it. Every time. If you need crit and it even kind of applies to you, just take it. It's really good. And for me, I definitely want the crit. So with this, it actually puts me at like 90% crit, which was really nice. So I slapped that on the guy that I thought was going to crit the most. I went hard, and you know what? I was able to passively heal everybody with the occasional greater heal and constant flash heals on everybody as well, because one of the things I ended up going for that I didn't mention, and I'll just put it up on the screen right now, we did use it throughout all of this, is Surge of Light. Surge of Light is kind of the same thing as what I'm getting from Cryotherapist to begin with, in the regards that I can get an instant cast flash heal with it, but it makes it to where I don't actually have to waste any of my Spirit Frost stacks on a flash heal and instead get a free flash heal for basically nothing. Remember, the flash heal is going to be very interesting because it puts lesser Frozen Light on my target, making it to where they take more healing from my Frostbolt. And if I ever go for a Prayer of Healing, I can extend that basically indefinitely, but it already has a really long duration. So it looks like the main way of doing things comes down to Frostbolt spam into flash heal on literally anybody you can, which then therefore gives you more Frostbolt healing. And if you want, you can go for the Icy Penance. Now, one thing you've definitely not heard me talk about in this whole excerpt of the video so far is the Icy Penance. It's actually the worst. Basically, it spends your Spirit Frost stacks to heal everybody for like 500, but I'd much rather do a greater heal or Prayer of Healing or even a flash heal with that so far. It does okay, like mild damage. That doesn't really matter either. I'd much rather spam Frostbolt. Now, if this Penance actually worked with Cryotherapy itself, it would be worth every time, right? But it doesn't. Only Frostbolt does, and so it's quite bad as far as I can see. So I basically never use it. I guess there is some applicability if everybody's taking a little bit of damage and you have a lot of stacks and you can waste it and you want to go for it because it's part of your spec. Okay, go ahead. But otherwise, it's not that great so far. But again, we did get through this plus 20 pretty damn easily. I'm very impressed by Cryotherapist in that regard. This is the highest content right now. You have to understand that, at least for a few more days before 20 to 30 comes out. And you've got to be impressed by the ability for the spec to even stick it out in that kind of content in any regard, right? We don't even know if this is the perfect way to build it. It's still doing it. Now, some talent choices that I have that I know other people weren't taking. I took Holy Concentration because I thought to myself, lots of flash heals and lots of greater heals are going out. Number two, I'm also taking a lot of Spirit already, and this is 30% free Spirit for casting flash heal or greater heal and critting with it, I believe. So I should be critting a lot anyway because I have so much crit in general. It's a very crit focused spec, so that's a lot of extra Spirit. I've noticed I don't really have mana problems, but as you can see during this run, I did have to life tap at certain points, but very rarely, and that was fine. It literally didn't cause a problem at all. So I would say that this is pretty damn close to a perfect spec, and I do think Holy Concentration is correct, despite the fact that I didn't really see it at all, I think, in anybody else's spec. So that was that, guys, and did we get any loot from that? Well, we actually did. So I have 70.5 item level. I picked up a Cyclopean Band plus 20. Not typically too great for my healers, but the reason it's not typically good is because of the hit rating, but on this guy, I definitely do want some hit rating. So even though I can get 5 stacks of centered and I'm actually hit capped, you do take some time to get there, and you definitely don't want to miss any Frostbolts along the way. So I feel like, considering the crazy good stats that Cyclopean Band already has, 11 hit rating is just a boon for me, right? Now, I picked up these legs as well from the BWL Heroic, so this is actually really good. 77 item level, lots of crit, lots of Spirit, everything I want. 41 spell power, that's a shit ton, man. So I don't even have my tier pants yet, and that's a really nice replacement. And I also went ahead and I spent my Raider commendations on this Insignia of the Dragon. This is possibly a new trinket with Ascension, but I can't quite remember. But anyway, it's a lot of extra spell power for just playing my class. So guys, that's just the basic gist of it so far. Obviously, if it could do a plus 20, it's definitely a good enough build to, well, be copied, to be iterated on, and to even be thought about playing. But again, the raid healing is super dicey to me, and it always is for the DPS specs as far as I can see. However, again, M+, that's the way to go. Let's find something else to do though, guys. Another way to showcase the spec. I'll see you guys in a moment. Okay, guys, with the plus 20 out of the way, let's just push our own key. I've got a plus 5 Dire Maul West. I got a group going with a Guildy tank with Rage Fit right here. Thank you, man. So let's make it happen. Hopefully I don't perform badly in a 5 when I just did good in a 20, so. And we're off. Okay, wow, there's Petrified Guardians at the beginning of this. Oh, no, he pulled it with the Void Walker. Well, that's really cool. Okay, so I just woke up, actually. It is the next day. I don't want to forget how to play. So I am spamming the Frostbolt. You can see if I get a proc, I go for the Flash Heal. I've even got a nice weak aura. I'm actually going to let you guys have this weak aura, by the way, if you want it. If you want to play this spec, I'll put the weak aura stuff in the Discord with the build as well. So, but essentially, it literally tracks everything that you would need. As you can see so far, the Frostbolt is nice little residual healing. Okay, he's actually taking big damage, but we can greater heal. It's instant. You see how oh god, there's another one right there. There's a Flash Heal right there. They're taking a lot of damage. Efflorescence. Oh god, circle. Prayer. Dude, this was not the right way to do this pull, but it's fine because we're actually doing it, and he's actually doing really well with the demon tank, man. That is so sick, dude. But you see how you can actually recover? Like, I won't lie, a lot of people would have played the spec through that pull right there, and they would have wiped. Or at least one guy would have died. At least one guy would have died. We can at least say that over the wipe, right? I just feel like that would have been hard to heal, man. But we did it. We did it. Enough experience, and we did it. Now, one thing you're noticing already is there is no Icy Penance being used. It's a decently cool looking animation and stuff like that. Like, I'll look at it one more time right here. Like, boom. Oh, wait. I'm out of range, man. Boom, like that. So it's like all frosty with Penance as well. That's pretty cool. Okay, I think he's gonna be fine. Oh, I got silenced again. Efflorescence. Circle. Oh, God. Prayer of healing, and it's slow. Oh, God. Embarrassing. Greater heal. Oh, Lord. I think we've got it. This is great because it's pushing me. Like, the way we're doing the pulls and stuff, it's just pushing me. Somebody did die, but I wouldn't say that's my fault. We're doing wonky pulls, but that's fine. It really does push the spec, and that's what I want to see. All right, Susie, man. Let's go for the Frostbolt spam. Start building up those stacks. This is where things get kind of scary, which is when people are actually taking damage, but you haven't had a moment to build your stacks and stuff. I'm disoriented. Okay, I'm out of it. I'm out of it. Okay, Flash Heal on this guy. Greater Heal just went off on the tank, and we have Kenzuko coming, so I don't know how he's taking damage right now. I'm just making sure to tell my party I'm CC'd because, like, we're not in a disc or anything like that, right? And you're rarely going to be, especially when you pug. Personally, I never do it, right? But what you do still need to do is be communicative. Like, there's no excuse not to be. Sometimes people act like typing things is actually the hardest thing in the world. It's actually as easy as it gets, bro. No, don't get me wrong. I understand voice chat is way better for communication than typing, especially when you're using your fingers to play the game. But my point still stands. It's still pretty damn easy to type. All right, on this guy, greater heal. Why not? We have the centered being tracked above my head as well. That's going to be hit rating right there. So I have an idea if I'm going to miss my Frostbolts more often than not. Okay, big damage coming out into the Efflorescence circle. We can go for a quick prayer. That's nice. That was basically instant cast, actually. But you can see we don't have any stacks right now. Oh, no, he just charges straight in. I love this guy, dude. He has balls of freaking steel. Because, like, here I am being an actual tryhard and forgetting that I'm being a tryhard. And this is pulling in a more traditional way where you just go in there. But obviously, we know we can go over here and pull behind that wall over there. I think this is more fun because, like, how are you going to make a +5 challenging if you don't pull, like, normal, right? I'm actually really surprised by how that went. We only have 2 more elemental pulls to unlock everything, right? So we have this one coming up, and then we have one down there through the door. All right, start precasting that Frostbolt into this pull. Just start trying to build some stacks. Remember, I need to crit, and I've got quite a lot of crits, so I get my stacks, as you can see, already at 3. Now, watch this. I have a stack of my Surge of Light, right? If I go for the Flash of Light, it didn't actually spend one of my Spirit Frost stacks. Exactly what I was talking about. Greater heal. Another greater heal. That was a crazy one once again. Actually, I think we were supposed to kill one more boss. Okay, so we don't want to skip him, actually, as I said, because we did not do the boss next to Susie, and that's typically what people do, so my brain defaulted to I think we did it, but we didn't, obviously. So we're doing the tree boss. Now, you want to skip the tree boss because you have a higher chance of wiping compared to the other boss. That's because he's going to summon all those Trents at one point, and really it comes down to, can the tank get the aggro fast enough, and will he get clapped out? And that's what it's going to come down to. Now, I will say, because I'm going to have so much time, as you can see, casting that Frostbolt, that I can go for an Icy Penance here. You can see how it's healing everybody. Because I'm going to be doing that, I should be perfectly fine when everything starts spawning. All right, go for the AoE heal. I don't have a way to remove curse, sadly. I do have a way to remove magic, but no curse. It's funny how the world works, right? Last build is the other way around. Oh, God. Look at the, oh, God. Look at this AoE. Instant prayers coming out. Literal instant prayers. You see the applicability of that? Spending my stacks, knowing I can spend 2 on a prayer of healing already. Very, very good. There's another one. You can already see that that's amazing, right? I actually really like the Efflorescence. I know Halo is typically what people use. I guess there's no reason why you couldn't use both. They don't share a cooldown. So I spoke about that earlier in more of a general sense, but if I'm honest with you, Halo and Efflorescence is probably how you should always do it if you can. This is a really good showing. It might be a 3 chest, but it's going to be real close, man. 6 minutes left, and we're going to naturally get all of our percentage. So how fast can we do it? Efflorescence to start, because I actually do think, based on every Mana Remnant pull so far, that this is going to really hurt at the beginning. Yeah, everybody takes some damage, right? Circle to top everybody off a bit. Got pushed back. Prayer of Healing. Don't like that. There's a little Surge of Light proc as well. Go for the Frostbolt. Go for the AoE heals. Flash heal on me. Go for the Frostbolt. Go for the prayer. There we go. Into the circle. Nice. Everybody's basically topped off for what matters. It's just me. I'll flash heal myself. Why not? I'm targeting the wrong guy. That's the problem. I was like, why am I not getting any of my Frostbolts off? Okay, the guy's behind me. Gotcha. Flash heal on the tank. Why not? So like I said, the scariest part of the spec is when you don't have any stacks and you actually have to do big heals anyway. But with that being said, if you can manage your stuff even kind of correctly with the Efflorescence and Circle, it looks like it's not that deep. So yeah, I'm not a healer main, so I don't know if I can necessarily say this is the meta, but this is my hypothesis, which is that regular healers, which are going to use Trank, which are going to use, Prayer Preservation, which are going to have more consistent AoE throughput, are probably going to be a lot better for raids, whereas DPS healers, that's probably the M+ domain. And then I wonder if it creates a dichotomy in which you could take a normal healer for M+, but why would you when you could take somebody that does damage as well? Similarly, you could take a damage healer into a raid if you want to play around it, but why kind of would you, right? When you could just take a normal guy with Tranquility or Prayer Preservation, any kind of AoE heal that's just superior in every way and takes a lot less skill, quite frankly. Now, don't get me wrong, I have self-awareness. I know I'm just spamming Frostbolt a lot of the time, but this takes way more skill than your regular kind of heal specs, like maybe like a Wrath Pally like I did in literal Wrath, right? Okay, we healed through that so easily. I'm actually so impressed. This guy said he's playing an Agi version of Dark Apotheosis, which I either used in the video and showed you guys, or I did not use in the video, and I did it off camera because I know I tried it. Just don't ever forget, like I did maybe like 7 videos ago, where I was like, 3 out of 4, let's just go kill the last boss. Doesn't count. You always have to do literally 4 separate bosses or whatever that count is for it, right? And then the last boss. It's always separate now. All right, Efflorescence going up. I really like Efflorescence. I really slept on it. I just wish I had Halo 2, like I said, but it's not like not worthy of being in the spec. It definitely is good. All right, telling everybody I'm asleep. I'm not. Never mind. Great. Don't you love it when the DPS actually dispel? You don't see it often, but when you do, you gotta love it, man. It's actually high tier. It's big brain. All right, there we go. That's so sick, guys. Let's move on. We literally only need 45 seconds to 3 chest it. It's just the run's gonna kill us. Damn it, dude. So close. But dude, the spec is so good. I've played this in a bunch of different ways so far too, guys, and I actually just feel like I figured it out already. Like, this is the way that I would do it. The only thing I need to replace is Calculating Spirit that's left over from my SOE spec. I even took 3 in Fingers of Frost now for 6% more chance to proc it. It's just like perfect. It feels so good. All right, let's go for the Frostbolt. We're gonna go for this 2 chest right here, spamming it, and we're gonna be getting off so much healing. All these 229s, all these 106s, Frostlock, doesn't matter. I have holy stuff as well. Everybody's taking a little bit of damage now. 2 people are. Go for the instants. The instant prayers and everything, man, is actually unbelievably good. Another instant prayer into a circle. Just about top everybody off, right? Into a flash heal. Flash heal is so pivotal, dude. A lot of the times, like, you have flash heal in the spec and you think, I'd rather go for, like, the greater heal. But this one, flash heal is pivotal. Absolutely pivotal. Remember, every guy I flash heal will now take more healing from Frostbolt. So just tossing that out consistently, especially on the tank, always good. GG, man. This is great. Okay, do we get anything usable? It's not impossible, I guess, but yeah, yeah, 2 slots and I'm already doing pretty good in. Okay, guys, so I got the final enchant for this, which is going to be Frozen Faith. This is 1% more holy damage and 1% more frost damage. Pretty good. The 1% more frost damage translates to more healing, by the way. Remember that. So I'm going to go ahead and put that on and replace Calculating Spirit for my last build, and we finally got a fully RE'd out spec that I actually think is perfect, guys. I've seen a lot of different people's specs. I really do think so far, this is the best one. So I'll put it in my Discord. If you want to try it with the weak R's and all that, you can. What I did do, though, is I got into another Mythic Plus, somebody else's key. This is his +1 North, right? Should be super easy, so let's make it happen. There we go. We got the summons. Okay, guys, Dire Maul North on the Cryotherapist build. Let's make it happen. So you want to skip both of these. Good job. Go straight down. Great job, guys. We're going to go for a Hyena pull. Now, these are the ones that scare me. Let's just start spamming the Frostbolt. They scare me because it's a bunch of little mobs. If they die too fast, I can't get any stacks, but as you can see, they die, yeah, way too fast, so we have to go for the Ogre now. But it looks like everything's okay. I'm gonna go for a flash heal on that guy, and we'll go for a greater heal on the Tideweaver. He's at full basically now. Nice. This is good, guys. Look at the healing. This is insane. Go for another greater heal. Okay, he's actually taking damage, which is great. This is normal, by the way, for Moldar. When I did the +20, I think, of this, yeah, they also took a lot of damage off Moldar. The Ogre bosses do kind of have, like, random burst. It's just so easy to heal through, you know? You almost wish it was a little bit stronger, actually, believe it or not. Just for the challenge. Okay, Moldar Eldar's dead. Easy mode. Okay, Efflorescence right here. I'm going to go for Frostbolt. The Carrion Swarmer is the same concept as the Hyenas. Kind of hard to heal compared to normal stuff. Greater heal. So that was a 50% reduced cast time on the 1 stack. Okay. Uh-oh. He's pulling ahead of me. I think we're going to be okay. I think we're going to be fine. Go for the Icy Penance. It should heal him for even more. There's a flash heal on him. Oh, God. See what I mean? No stacks, and everybody's taking damage. And I'm stunned. This is where stuff starts to get dicey. Prayer of Healing. There we go. Oh, my God. I'm polyed. Oh, no. I'm CC'd and Stomper Kriegs at freaking 70%. Okay. Frostbolt spam. It should be fine, actually. I should be able to easily recover into the Circle of Healing, into a flash heal, get that extra Lesser Frozen light up. I'm stunned. I'm going to go for a prayer. There's the prayer. Nice. It extends the Lesser Frozen Efflorescence as well. Okay. Flash heal. Nice. Everybody's basically topped off into the circle. Now they are topped off. I'll take that. Yeah, you can see it's so easy to recover if you know what you're doing. Okay, Guard Fengus. So easy. A big joke. He's going to die super soon. Spamming the Frostbolt. Doing really good in that regard. Max stacks. Whenever you're sitting on max cryotherapy stacks, you basically know that nobody can die. And so it's a really, really good benchmark. You know, if you can spam the Frostbolt, build the stacks, you have all this stuff waiting for you. You can still spam the Frostbolt, though. Yeah, it's actually so chill, man. It's such a chill spec. I actually like this more than SOE, which is, you know, Steward of Eternity. Even though I think that spec is probably stronger, this one still does the highest content, and it's, like, really fun. This guy's pulling everything. I'm trying so hard to keep him alive. He's dead, dude. He's freaking pulling everything. I couldn't help but laugh, dude. It's just fun seeing people still learn the mechanics. Am I gonna die? No, right? Like, I'm not gonna die, right? Circle of Healing? Come on, I'm not gonna die, right? Greater heal, no die, please. Oh, God, Tideweaver, I don't want you to die, buddy. I think I might be able to bring it back up. Circle of Healing? Oh, God, Draenich is dead. Yeah, you can't do pulls like that and actually expect to survive. I mean, it's not the tank's fault, obviously. He didn't do that. Oh, God, no, I'm banished. I think we do survive, but that was so funny to me, dude. So, like, I had to tell them to run up here to reset the boss, and this guy that was fighting the boss and, like, tanking him was, like, starting to run. He's like, oh, okay, I get it. And then, instead of jumping on this ledge, he just pulled the entire pack and got insta-gibbed, man. I do not have a res, sadly, on this guy, so they have to run back, and they're not probably happy about that. Okay, guys, it is looking like it's going to be a 3 chest. We're going to go for King Gordok now. Should be easy. Pop in that Icy Veins. Let's just go in for that Frostbolt spam. I'd like to think that I might be able to go through this entire boss fight with basically just Frostbolt. Maybe the Icy Penance as well, right? So there's an Icy Penance. Really, I'm just using it to show it to you guys, by the way. It really does feel like it's a big miss. Once again, I think if they just made it to where it procced cryotherapy, it would be really, really good and, like, usable in the rotation constantly. And honestly, I think it was a big miss not to make it to where frost spells in general don't just proc cryotherapy, because that's where you're going to get uniqueness, right? Cone of Cold might do something with it. Frost Shock might do something with it. It wouldn't be good, but Frostbrand weapon auto attacks might do something with it if you made it work with all frost spells, right? And I think that's where the spec really should have gone. However, due to the fact that it still works really well and it's still super fun to play, I can't complain too much, and I would really settle for just the Icy Penance working with cryotherapy. That's the only thing I would change about the spec. Okay, it's not likely, but do we get anything good that we can actually put on? No, sadly, somehow not, but that's okay, man. I'll take it. Even more progress with the build. It's a super good build, guys. So I won't lie to you guys, I did go into this with kind of like a let's get it over with attitude because it's my last legendary enchant of all the brand new chapter 2 ones. I have a lot of ideas for other things I want to do. Maybe it's hardcore classic, but also maybe it's, you know, PvP on Ascension and other DPS builds on Ascension, right? But if I'm honest, like, this actually showed up. Like, this actually came in strong. It's really good. It's way better than a lot of the specs we've played so far that are new. It's better than I thought it was going to be, because you remember I did that M0, I thought, I did that raid, I thought, oh no, this is going to be bad. Then I started doing M+, and I'm like, oh god, this is top tier for M+. This is really good for M+. So that's kind of where I am right now. Now, like I said, my talents are basically what you should expect, but I do have some McDouble picks. Of course, the Holy Concentration would definitely be one of them. I use everything that I've got. Circle of Healing. You know, actually, Alacrity, I don't even know if I need that, but it really comes down to, like, what else could it be? Because I don't really need anything besides crit, right? And I think I kind of took all the crit talents that I could take right now. Everything just makes perfect sense with this build so far. I really like playing it. It's interesting because it's both going into intellect and spirits, and you're doing wonky things. Like, I don't have the Lunar Guidance talent, but I do have the REs, and so I am converting intellect to spell power because we do want as much as we can get. When you go spirit, you don't get as much. As an example, if I go intellect right now, 1060 bonus damage. But if I'm spirit, 530. So literally double when you go intellect. So you're really falling from a deficit right there in that regard. It still pumps, man, and it still heals a lot when it pumps. Okay, so I want to save AQ for a DPS spec since this is not a raid spec. I feel like it's a bad entry into it. Plus, it's just going to be super easy. We're just going to get those new tier sets. It's going to be really fun. Here's what I want to do, though, guys. Let's go ahead and do the giveaway from the last video. I've got a special thing I'm going to give away in this video, and that is my Reigns of the Swift Spectral Tiger. This is like 3,000 or 4,000 gold on the auction house right now, and y'all know how I do. Some giveaways, you might get 500 gold. Some, you might get 3K. You never know. You just have to keep leaving your name in the comment section below on the Thrall server for a chance to win something in my Ascension video, so make sure to do that. But anyway, guys, let's roll it off. Okay, guys, let's see who wins. Oh, there we go. Transcended Phoenix. He says, okay, Mcdouble Mint, I did it. I stopped playing Ascension months ago, and I have just been living vicariously through you and your videos. The hours I've spent watching have brought me back. But if I'm gonna be back, I'm winning that giveaway. Bro, you're so lucky. It's unbelievable. In-game name Quest. Not only are you freaking lucky, but you don't have to use the mount I give you. You can just sell it for 3 or 4K if you want. Or you can have swag. It's up to you. Okay, that's super lucky that you literally called that and won the giveaway. So let's go ahead and send it to you, man. GG. All right, man. GG to you. And you guys already know what to do. And I'm going to go ahead and check the AH real quick just so I can make sure that I didn't lie. I checked it yesterday and that's the price I saw. Yeah, there's only one on here right now for 4K. So I say 3 to 4K because if you're going to be really, you know, interesting about it, you could, you know, super undercut. I don't know. Anyway, guys, I had a whole lot of fun with this spec. Super fun. Frozen Light, all that jazz. Only thing I would do is make it to where Icy Penance works with Cryotherapy. It just makes some sense, right? I think it functions well. I think it's worth your time, honest to God. And yeah, we are done, boys, with the Chapter 2 Legendary Enchants. You know what, guys? If you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. But before we go, of course, major thanks to all the members on my channel. Thank you guys for existing. I really appreciate you. You keep me going, and you keep the channel going. But anyway, guys, I'll see you in the next one. Mcdoubles out.